Thanks for selling your car to Carvana. Here's your check.
Whoa, when did I get here?
What do you mean?
I swear it was just moments ago that I accepted a great offer from Carvana online. I must have time traveled to the future.
It was just moments ago. We do same-day pickup. Here's your check for that great offer.
It is the future.
It's the present and just the convenience of Carvana. Sorry to blow your mind.
It's all good. Happens all the time.
Sell your car the convenient way to
Carvana.
Pickup times may vary and fees may apply.
Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Heavy Metal Tones. This is actually the Metal Roos Tapes Volume 5. Yes, now the 5th in a long line of specials I'm doing for the show once a month, hopefully. Well, I'll be trying to do it once a month, as you know. And this is where I go and dive into more interviews I've done for Metal Roos, the online webzine that I interview for, where you can get all of your wonderful heavy metal news and information. So, this week's episode is a real power metal festival, I'd like to say. So we have the two of the three singers of Helloween, the almighty Michael Kiske first up. Brilliant, wonderful raconteur. He really knows how to tell a tale. And then we have a little musical interlude from a German band that I interviewed for Metal Roos a little while back called Satin White, and they basically do a sort of a theatrical power speed metal kind of thing, and it's quite a hard musical way. It's quite hard to describe, but you're going to love it. It's not extremely heavy like last week. It's much more easy to listen to. This is off the album Born, and the track itself I will let you know when we get to the other side of this first interview with Michael Kiske. So enjoy this interview, and I will see you on the other side of that. We'll chat quickly about Satin White, and then on to Andi Deris on the other side, another voice from the brilliant Helloween stable. They now tour with 3 vocalists, and it's really lovely, all through different eras of the band. But this is about their newest album that was just released. So I will let both of them talk about it. They can both talk the ears off a donkey. Loved every minute of it. I hope you do too. Anyway, we'll chat after this first one, and I'll introduce Satin White, and away we go. Bye for now.
The good thing about being bold, you know,
You
look younger.
Yes. Well, thanks
Because you
for
can't
coming
tell.
with us.
Gray hair.
Yeah.
Gray hair makes you look older. I don't know why Halford does this beard thing.
Yeah, I know.
It looks so old. If he was looking so fine with this, he doesn't even have to make it black. But this beard,
Yeah, the big one doesn't work, does it?
it doesn't work. I don't know, but I love the guy. You know, whatever he wants, but it's just not a good choice.
Yeah, but when you're Rob Halford, I suppose you can do what you want, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other hand, it also shows some maturity. You know, because he doesn't care.
No, exactly. And so
I'm sure he sees that this makes him look old, but he is. So, you know what I mean? So maybe it's okay. It just shows that he's not hiding it anymore or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think more for it actually, in that respect. I mean, he's
absolutely.
You know, he can still belt out those tunes. I mean, his vocal range is still incredible. For what is he, 70 something?
Absolutely. But he was always a mystery, wasn't he? I mean, it's not normal.
He's not. No, he's not. No.
If I would sing as heavy as he has sang, if I would do that 1 year, I'll be done.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure his vocal cords are metal.
I think they probably are. Well, he's from around Birmingham area. No, was it Sheffield? No, whatever, around that area. So it's probably got.
But he's really. It's like I have these conversations about vocalists and singers a lot of times with people I talk to, and they always try to hear what I think. You know, why some singers can do this or that or whatever. And I always say with Halford, I think his way of singing is reflecting who he is. It's his personality, and it reflects through his singing. This is why we liked him all the time that much, because He's very authentic. He's an original. And when you do something that's natural to you, your body can take it. This sort of singing, this aggressive singing that he does, is natural to him. He can do that because it fits with his personality. And if you force something over yourself that is unnatural for you, you violate your voice, and then you lose it. To be in tune with who you are is all that matters in the end. There.
Yeah, well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. How have you kept your voice so
Yeah,
unique
that's
for
why
so
that's
long?
why I'm, and this is my explanation, because I think I'm not violating it. I kind of found my own way. I had my idols. I had people that I admired. I got into that. I mean, I was into Elvis and the Beatles before that, and around the age of 14, a friend of mine, who's still a friend of mine, he got me into metal. And that was the time when Number of the Beast from Iron Maiden was the newest record. Screaming for Vengeance from Judas Priest. Metallica, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were later. So
They were later, yes,
it
86.
must have been something
Yeah.
like Kill 'Em All
Yeah.
around that time. But it was a great time to get into this kind of music. And so I was excited about these type of vocals. I was listening to Dickinson, and I had my own school band. I was trying to work things out, and so you are influenced by people that you admire always, but you have to find your own way. That's the thing. Don't just try to copy. In the beginning, you copy. That's how you learn it. But you have to give it your own kind of thing, and especially when it comes to how you do it. How you do it. If it hurts, and it's like if you rehearse with your band for like 2 hours and you can't even talk anymore afterwards, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
I can rehearse with Helloween for 4 hours and I can still talk and my voice will still sound all right. Because I don't violate it, and that's the key. And also, you have to adjust to the changes of your body when you get older.
Yeah,
Because
everything drops down a
vocal
register.
cords, they get thicker when you get older. It's not necessarily a bad thing because you get more resonance and you usually sound fuller and all that. Even when I'm in the phase of aging now, so it's like I have to adjust. I don't feel anything in the voice yet. Voice has changed over years, but I'm always adjusting to it. I'm always figuring things out that I have to do slightly different or whatever, but I don't have to do that much too different so far. But that's part of it. Don't violate the voice. And it doesn't matter what it sounds like. There are singers who sing in a way that a vocal teacher would say, well, that's not good for the voice. That's not, but the singer can do it. And if your voice can take it and it feels good, and you can even make a tour like that without losing your voice, you can do that. It's a very individual thing, really. It totally is. It should just not go against your nature. That's important.
And I think that, you're right, because your voice has. I mean, I listened to all your albums. I've listened to them many, many, many times, as all of us have done.
Right.
And it doesn't seem to change, Michael. It doesn't seem to.
It has changed, but not in a negative way. It has changed in a way that I have more resonance when I sing lower key today. But I can when I do. I mean, when you sing the upper keys, a lot of singers sound the same anyway, or very close to each other, because it's like you have the most uniqueness in the lower and in the mid range. That's where you hear the most character. When singers, especially in the metal scene, do those high screams that I'm also quite known for, they all sound very similar. It's very hard to tell the difference because you lose the flavor a lot.
Yes,
I mean, if you are really trained, you can tell. I mean, I can hear it, but to the average listener,
no,
they wouldn't be able to tell. It's like,
yeah. And
what was the question again?
no, so that was how you looking after your voice, how you've looked after your voice.
Yeah.
But let's talk about
I think I'm doing. You always have to be mindful. You always have to stand beside yourself, even on stage, even when you get excited and you have all the energy going on. You still have to somehow have that little voice in your head saying, "Don't overdo it." Just Take it
You've still
easy.
got 20 shows to go.
Yes, exactly. You got to be mindful. I think that plays a big role, that you got to be mindful in what you're doing.
It was professional.
Toby always says it's genetic
Mm,
from Avantasia. Toby, he
yeah.
always says it's, I don't know, maybe a little bit too. Maybe that
Oh, I
can
think
also
I think it's a lot of genetics. I think there's a
probably.
lot of lucky from the from the world
Yeah,
around.
some people have these voices. You know, I just discovered last year my all-time favorite voice ever.
Mm,
It's a girl from the Netherlands. You have never heard of her, I'm sure.
mm,
She has, to me, the best voice ever. She has total control. She can sing the Whitney Houston stuff if she has
mm.
to. She can do all of these acrobats in terms acrobats. Can you say that? Acrobats
Yes.
in terms of vocals. Female.
Yeah.
She can do it all, but she can also rock. She is like very, very diverse, versatile. Sorry, in what she's doing, and she has a very big sounding voice. When she goes up, she sounds full, and if she
Oh,
wants to, she can
yeah.
sound very, very feminine, but she can like sound like Whitney Houston in her prime. She has this resonance there,
Wow.
and when you hear her talk, her talking voice is quite low,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she always makes jokes about it. She
Yeah.
says, "Yeah, I sound like a Dutch farm woman." You know, it doesn't sound unsexy. It's not that low that
Yeah.
it's not feminine, but it's lower, her
Yeah.
talking voice, than the average female voice. But that's why she sounds so big, because she has this lower key. So when she's raising the voice, it has more resonance.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
for
Lower
her, it's
bass.
higher.
Yeah.
It's higher than her normal key would be.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so very genetic. That's why I'm saying it. It's very genetic. She was
Course it
born
is.
like that.
You
She
can't
has
teach.
this.
Yeah, like we said before with the Halford, you can't teach that. That's just something that is given to you by.
You can learn certain techniques. You can learn uh, uh, um, how to pitch better or things like that.
Mm,
But it's like anything that's the basic sound of your voice.
mm.
That's genetic. You can mold it a little. You know, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
in the crunch time. You remember everything was
Yeah.
they were kind of singing in the throat
Yeah.
to create some kind of sound that wasn't really there. It was a bit of a masking the
Yes.
real voice. I didn't like that very much. I like voices natural, to
Yeah.
hear how they sound.
Yeah, I think you get that with particularly your kind of metal. I mean, Helloween has been
Yeah.
that sound, that power metal, that clear,
Yeah.
operatic almost.
You can sculpture the sound a little, and every singer does that a little, but it shouldn't be a masquerade. You shouldn't completely fake a sound that isn't your voice.
Mm.
But the key thing you cannot learn is soul.
Oh,
You know what I
yes.
mean?
No, absolutely.
Emotions.
Yeah.
You have it or you don't. The thing is, you can learn how to sing. I mean, there's so many singers, male or female, out there who are technically able to sing very well, but nothing happens here.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't move you.
yeah, yeah.
And then they have other singers that don't even have to be so great in the terms of the range, but they have the soul. And there you have it again, individuality. It's all about the individual, the soul, the heart that someone has. And that Dutch girl delivers that too. She has so much soul, and at least for me, I'm dying when she sings.
Oh, it's lovely. It's like
Her
great
name
guitarist, isn't it?
Her name is Davina Michelle.
Okay, I'll have to make a note and I'll check her out.
Best voice ever.
Yeah, it's like great guitarist though, isn't it? Because you can play a million notes,
Exactly.
but the great guitarists of this world, like Clapton and Beck, and what they didn't play is what made it
Yes,
beautiful.
the thing is, it's much more difficult on a guitar to be unique. The voice is really you. This is part of
Yes.
your body. The guitar is an instrument you play, and you need to have a lot of individual skills to play the instrument in a way that, and you have these guitar players, you hear three tones, three notes, and you know who it is.
Yeah.
I've had this experience a few times. I had the last time that I remember was David Gilmour. He was playing guitar. This was the first time that I've noticed that I was thinking about it. I was really young. It was No More Lonely Nights from Paul McCartney, and in the end, David Gilmour plays guitar, and I was hearing that it is him,
Yeah.
just out of the guitar playing style.
It's his touch. It's his,
Yeah.
it's the way he breathes through the instrument.
Yeah.
It's such
And
a-
nobody is the same. If you have individuality, everybody is different. Everybody plays the same scales. I mean, Eddie Van Halen was breaking out of it. That was exciting about his guitar playing. He was when he was playing the pentatonic scale, he broke out of it. He even used tones that are not allowed in the scale, but he played it in a way
Who's
that
going to
worked.
tell him not to? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what made Eruption such an amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds so interesting. I mean, I've bought a whole bunch of EVH guitars because I had a Eddie Van Halen flash again.
Yeah.
But it's like, and you play the stuff that he did, and it's actually quite simple. But the way he plays it, makes it exciting. It's different. The way he uses these notes was just very original.
Yeah, it's a. I mean, he's again. It's a one-off. It's in the DNA, right? The new album. Let's quickly talk about the new album, which is coming out August 29th, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Giants and Monsters.
Yeah.
Great cover. Great. I like the cover on it. I love the artwork. When you first get the package.
I wasn't so mad about it at first, but it grew on me. It grew on me. I mean, we had a few titles, of course, for we could use, and we had artists making suggestions, and there was some good stuff there. And Kai wanted it to be called Monsters. He thought that would be a great title because you can do a lot with it. And the basic idea or the basic talk was that we would do it more funny, like a bit more comedic,
tongue in cheek. Yes.
Yeah. Somehow, like the Dr. Steen kind of style.
Yes.
Something not so serious. But Jan, our manager, doesn't like the idea that the main record is funny. Which in my time, we never did that. It was just the singles where the funny part came. And with the Andy time that did it, with the Rabbit record, for instance, that was kind of funny. So they had it a little bit. But I understood his point that he would like the record cover to be not just funny, So but the idea was that it was not supposed to be dark or negative or satanic or anything like that, because that's not who we are. But we moved away from that funny bit a little bit, and it ended up to be that, which is almost abstract. It has some kind of almost like an abstract painting to a certain extent.
It's like a Max Ernst painting. It really is.
Yeah, and it has a nice dynamic of light and darkness. You can see the Pumpkin Man, as representing the band fighting the demons or whatever. You can see it in that way, and that's why I was okay with it in the end.
I think it's different. I mean, I must admit, it wasn't the kind of album I'm used to from your band, but it was something nice, a different change, which I like.
We had a different cover in work for a long time, which I cannot tell you what it was because we didn't buy it. It was a very famous guy who made the cover. We all loved it. And it would have been very controversial for the metal world. It would have received a lot of criticism, but that would have been the point, to do something that people are arguing about and stuff.
Yeah,
we didn't do it. It would have been great. I loved it. Everybody loved it, but we actually found another band who used the same object.
Yeah.
Live and whatever, so we didn't do it in the end. That would have been fun. I mean, a lot of people would have been pissed. That's in a situation like that. That's the idea. You put something out that you hate or love. That you either get the sense of humor or you don't. That's not necessarily a negative thing. Even if you have bands out there that always just want to be pleasers, they always just want to be Mr. Nice Guy and stuff. It's not how it works. I mean, to be controversial can work like really good in terms of
because all press is good press, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I absolutely love the album. Listening through a few times now since I've had it, I really loved A Little Is a Little Too Much. I was thinking, I would have had that as a lead single. I know you had Tokyo. This is Tokyo. But
I think it might be the next one. I think
hope so. It's a real cracker of a number.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a few.
Yeah. I mean, is
Yeah,
that
but Andy's stuff is always like a very round thing. He just knows how to write songs, and
yeah.
uh, quite often that they end up being the singles. I mean, what Kai does these days is usually very metal.
Mm.
He doesn't do the future world and the I Want Out stuff today that much anymore. But Andy's stuff, he's a big Kiss fan, David Coverdale fan, Whitesnake fan. That's where he's coming from, and this is why his songwriting is always very good for videos and singles.
It's very groovy. It's got a good groove to it.
Yeah.
That song. It's real sort of. You can see it's been a crowd pleaser.
It reminds me a little bit of the Scorpions.
Yeah. Well, yes, you're very correct. It has that feel to it. I was thinking
The riff and
Yeah.
this is why I choose that harmony, that upper harmony,
Yeah.
because it sounded even more like the Scorpions. I felt like the riff, especially the verse and the bridge, sounds a lot like has a bit of that Scorpions vibe.
Yeah, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I love the Scorpions. I
Who
really
doesn't? Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's I mean, because it follows on from your self-titled album that came out in 2021, wasn't it? Or 2022?
Yeah. No, it was 21.
21. That horrible
Yeah.
time of the COVID era. Yeah.
That was a decision we were discussing. If we really want to wait until this is over, because we wanted to release it earlier. It was meant to be released, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, of course, it was meant to be released in 2020.
Yeah.
Because we had already a tour booked for 2020, which didn't take place, and so we didn't release the album. But then we thought, who knows how long this is going to go?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
we just decided to put it out there in 21. It was a great what is it, emotional turn. It was a nice thing to do, because apart from all this pandemic crap, there was something good. You had a record
that's
out,
right. You
had
all trapped
interviews
indoors.
and stuff, and it was really refreshing to do that. It was a good choice.
Yeah, because I must admit, I remember when it came out, because I was, all stuck indoors. I mean, I remember Maiden had an album out that year as well, and it was just nice to be able to sort of just go, well, I can't go out, but I can put my stereo on 11. Like,
Yeah, and people were so positive, and I think it was part of being so frustrated about the situation and dealing with the negativity that was all around. And so something like that, it's a great thing. Everybody was thankful. There's something life didn't happen, so at least you could have some records being released.
yeah,
And I think a lot of people released records.
Yeah, there's a lot that came out that time, isn't there? What I appreciate about bands like yourself, though, releasing albums, then you didn't go in and become, oh, woe is me, this is an album about COVID. It was just an album, and you were releasing it out. There was a lot of bands that sort of rode that kind of narrative.
Yeah, but I think that's because the writing was already done before it happened. I mean, I was finishing the vocals in the first lockdown that they had. I was in March. I came back from Tenerife where we did the vocals, and we didn't have a lockdown in Germany by then. But there was like the first type of lockdown was in Tenerife, where they were like driving around and telling people not to leave the apartment if not necessary because of the COVID virus and blah 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 blah. That's when I finished the last bits and pieces of the vocals. So the pandemic did not have any influence on the songwriting.
Well, and I think that's a great thing, because as I said, it's timeless. Then the album is timeless. Then you're not locked.
Yes, the thing is, nobody wants to hear it anymore. It's like if you put out a record where you deal with the pandemic, that has to fail because people are sick of it. They don't want to hear it.
I can't stand it. Yeah. You flick past it. It's like, I've been through it.
Let's leave that behind. Never again, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Yeah. Well, you always. Yeah. Exactly. So, you're going on a big tour with this album soon, aren't you? You're touring it, right through Asia. Is that right?
Well, we begin with Europe. We have about 5 weeks, our own tour over Europe, and then we do a brief Asian thing, but I don't think it's much. It's Indonesia. I don't know if Malaysia is in there, probably. And they also booked 3 shows in Korea.
Wow.
Korea.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been there before. I've been there for interviews in the early 90s, and I've been there also for a gig. Helloween, no, it wasn't Helloween. I think it was Unisonic.
Yeah.
It was either Unisonic or Avantasia. I can't remember, but there was one show we also did in Korea, if I'm not completely mistaken.
Wow.
But that's not going to be, it's just going to be something like 12 days that we will be including traveling.
Hmm.
And then we're back here. And then we will continue in April next year in North America, which is not long. It's like maybe 3.5 weeks or something like that.
Hmm.
I don't know what, I think after that we will be just doing festivals in Europe.
Yeah, you have to
Over
get
the
to Australia. You have to get to Australia sometime soon.
Yeah. I mean, it was planned already in 2020. It was planned to do that at the end of 2020 after Japan. They wanted to have one show. It was planned. I think the venue was booked and everything.
Oh,
It was planned, and then because of the pandemic, it didn't take place. And at the moment, I don't know. I don't think it is planned yet, but it might come up. I mean, after the summer festivals in Europe, I'm sure we're going to do South America, and I'm sure after South America, we will do Japan.
yeah.
Probably 2 weeks or something like that, because things are going really well in Japan again for us.
Yeah, they love your music over there, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they were like the biggest fans in the 80s. I mean it was really really good there. And then in the 90s they kind of lost interest in anything other than national music. It was interesting. They were like completely not interested in anything that came from Europe or America or whatever. They were just concentrating on national music, even their own pop and rock music. They made their own stuff, and it started kind of cliche that you really had to laugh when you saw that. But they have evolved, and in the last couple of years, they've gotten really good, even with their own stuff in
There's some good
Japan.
metal bands coming from Japan.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can tell you. Yeah, absolutely cracking stuff coming out from there.
yeah, yeah.
It's good that they've come back to the fold.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same thing with Helloween. We did. I don't even think that they went there playing live. And I remember. I mean, during the 90s, you know, I remember when we played there the first time in 2018. Again with Pumpkins United, they booked I think one show in Tokyo, but they had to book 4 more while we were there
because it sold so quickly.
Out.
Yeah.
Because it was just very successful and people showed up. And then the next time we were able to play Budokan, you know, which is 8,000.
The Budokan. Yeah. Wow.
And we sold it out, you know. So things are going much, much better.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere. But Japan, it was kind of sad because we all love Japan. It's just a great country. It's great.
I love it. Yeah.
So it was kind of sad that things were kind of drying out there, but it's coming back now.
Yeah. I mean, I was reading the story behind This Is Tokyo. He was saying he wants to say thank you to Japan because he loves them so much.
And this is not just ass kissing or anything like that. We really have a love affair with Japan and especially Tokyo. Everybody has memories. You know, when I was like a teenager still, we played in Japan and we've been there like for 4 weeks or something like that. We were touring the whole country. It was amazing. It was a great time.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I hope you do get down here because the album is really great, and I think it's one of the best ones for some time. I mean, it does flow off from the self-titled album so much nice. It's such a good flow on.
Yeah, I think that the new one, I like the new one better too. The first one was good, but it was too overloaded, if you ask me. It was too much information, too much on there. Every guitar player had to have a solo in every song. You know, it's just too much. But that's the thing when you get 7 people together and try to make a record. This time is much more organic.
Yeah, more clarity. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. I felt that as well. When I was putting it on, it felt like Helloween when I listened to it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's what you want from a Helloween record, isn't it? You want to put it on and go.
Yeah. I mean the previous one too, but it was too much. It was just too much information. I couldn't listen to it without getting a headache.
Yeah, it's quite chunky. It's quite a chunky album. I mean, I liked it because it was that time when we needed it. So I have a soft spot for it for that reason.
And it was really, really well received. I mean, don't be mistaken. I mean, people just loved it. It just had the highest reviews and everything, and the fans loved it. It's just my personal.
Of course, well, you're the creative person. You've got to You gotta love what you make, and sometimes you'll see with an objective eye, don't you? You go,
It was great then, but it's like I just felt it was everybody in the band pretty much felt it was a little over the top from the information. So we are all feeling more comfortable now as a band, and I think
mm.
that reflects in the latest record
Yeah, it does.
naturally.
It really does. It's full of fun.
Yeah.
There's some real fun moments in it. I said I can love a little is a little too much. I love that as a song.
And we had some nice surprises doing this production, I have to say. I mean, first of all, it was the most pleasant vocal recordings I've ever done because I've been in Tenerife for 2.5 months. There was
Yeah,
no time pressure. When I
lovely.
felt like singing, I went in the evening, did some vocals. In the daytime, I was in the sun.
And the
You know,
beach. Oh god.
Tenerife is just perfect, especially at the time of year that I was there. It's not
Mm.
too hot. It was always between like 18 and 21,
Oh,
22 degrees.
perfect.
Perfect. It was always sunny. I had an apartment. I was not in a hotel.
Yeah.
We rented an apartment. I could show you a picture. We've done thousands of pictures, but that was my view. Let me see. Taking quite a few pictures here. That was the view.
Oh, stop it.
So it was amazing. I mean, in terms of vocal recordings, it couldn't be any better. It was a pleasure. Um, the whole production was great. Uh, um, what was your question again? Now I've
No, I just
lost
said
it.
it. I just said that it was just not. It's got a real. It's a
I
nice
got it.
light
I got it.
album. Yeah.
The thing is, we had a whole bunch of songs. We had about 30 songs or something,
Mm,
and there were a couple of songs where we thought they're okay. They might be good enough for a B-side or
mm.
uh, for a bonus track or whatever, and they turned out really good in the end, like much stronger than we thought. And this is always very pleasant. You have songs where that's going to work. Universe, for instance, is almost like Helloween written by the school book. It's like
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
you hear that, and yeah, of course, yeah, that works. He used all the elements that you would expect
Yes.
in
Henry by
in a
numbers.
Halloween song. So that song didn't grow much. It stayed the same. You recorded it. It sounded better, than the demo, but it stayed what you expected. We had at least like 3 or 4 songs where we thought, let's see what happens, and they really grew and turned out to be really strong. And it was a couple of songs from Waikiki
Mm.
where when the vocals were finished, we were all happy because they just grew so much. And that's great because it makes you have even more songs you can choose from for an album. We
Yeah,
even
yeah.
have the next record already written because we've done so many songs.
Oh,
It's
how
already there.
wonderful is that?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's you
Yeah.
can relax
The
and
band
tour
is
a bit better,
has
enjoy
been
your
so
tour.
creative. That's the big benefit when you have 6 potential songwriters and they just sat down and wrote songs, and we just never have a shortage in material. It's amazing.
Oh, you're a very lucky man.
Yeah,
'Cause, I'm sure there's a lot of
absolutely.
bands who give their right arm to have that ability.
I know. That's because usually you have 1 or 2 songwriters, if even.
Mm.
And then they try to make a record, but we have always too many songs, which is great.
That's never a problem, Michael. I don't think too
You-
many songs is a problem. I
you-
think the only
And it
problem
was
with it
just like
is what you put
you
on and
can
what you
do.
don't put on. That's a
Yeah, exactly. And you can arrange, what put on what record. You can, if you have so many songs, and they're all very different always. You always have very different styles. You can just arrange a nice record by picking the songs.
Mm.
Makes it much easier to make an exciting record. And I'm sure they're going to write more songs for the next one, but we have already enough material. But I'm sure there's going to be like 5 more songs,
Of course they will,
and then we
because it'll be
record them
2 years
until we
down the
have
track.
another 20 songs to choose from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, because it'll be 2 years down the track, and you'll be like, "Oh, no, let's do something. Let's add that in now." Like, let's do
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I mean, I have no doubts that the next one is just gonna be just as good, if not better, because we already have the material, and there's still time. We won't do that before like maybe 2 years or something because
Mm.
we're gonna put it live now.
Yeah, I think, well, topping this one's gonna be hard because it's a really cracking album.
Yeah,
It's really sort of DNA of Halloween, right?
and it's
Down
not
to the
just a
left.
copy of the previous one.
No, it's
It's
not
a
at all. No, not
yeah,
at all. There's so much difference in it. I said it's more cohesive. It's
yeah.
got some more space in it. It's more spatial.
That was
Um,
the only thing we thought about. We're not the kind of band who makes a plan. I don't think that any of the songwriters can really sit down and write a song with a pre-designed path to go. I don't think so.
no,
I might be wrong, but I don't think so. I think it's always an inspiration. You have an idea, and then the song unfolds, and it is what it is in the end.
yeah,
But the only thing we said before, and I still remember it because it was in Mexico. Mexico in November 23 was the last gig we did. It was a festival, and we had a meeting in a restaurant where we had dinner and everything. And the only thing we said is we want to open up,
yeah,
open up and allow things to happen and not restricting us in any kind of way, as we usually do.
yeah,
As we never really do. I wanted to say
yeah.
we just always let it go. I mean, I think this has always been, at least during my time, what made this band exciting. There was just no fear. There was no fear, and I mean, for you, something like Rise and Fall, Dr. Steen, these kind of songs, for you, their history of the
Mm,
band. But if you would have experienced how difficult it was to get Future World, I Want Out,
mm.
songs that are hits today, the record company didn't like them
Of course they did because they're idiots.
because they didn't
It's all about
sound like anything like Walter Jericho.
yeah,
So it's like, if we would not have stood together as a band, it's like, that's what we do, or we don't make a record. If you wouldn't have done that, which we
yeah.
did, they wouldn't exist.
Oh, don't
Those
say that,
records
Michael.
never exist.
I don't want to hear that.
But I'm just saying it. So we have
Yeah,
always been the type of band, and especially when we were young, that we were not scared of trying things out. A song like Rise and Fall, with all this comedy kind of aspects,
mm.
that was not really common in metal, to
No,
have
no.
humor,
I
to
think
be
you're very
funny.
pioneering. Yes.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like everything was either dark,
Yeah.
serious or mystical,
Yes.
but it was never funny. It was
Yeah.
never. It didn't have we had that sense of humor as people naturally, but they allowed it to happen during the production, fooling around with things, and I love it. And it's like, and that's the only thing that we said to ourselves for this record. We just open up. We're not afraid. We just let it go, and
Yeah.
whatever happens.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thanks for chatting, Michael. Our time is running up.
All
Unfortunately,
right.
I could talk to you all day. I just it's such a pleasure to talk to such a legend. Who
I
knows?
love interviews. I love doing interviews. I really
Yeah,
do,
I
because
can
it's,
see it. You're very,
especially in the metal world, it's just a great conversation. And the
yeah,
people that show up, they care
yeah,
usually. It's always passionate. There's always something going on. It's
yeah,
not these kind of lame, boring interviews that you sometimes do. It's like when you get number one, like in Germany, like we did with the last
yeah.
record, you have other people that don't give a damn really
No,
about what you do.
no, it's just
Asking
checklist.
have those standard
Yeah,
questions. That's not the same thing. But the usual hard rock metal journalist who shows up, they're passionate, and this is why it's usually a good conversation.
yeah. I've loved it. I've loved every minute of it. It's been a highlight of my day, Michael. Thank you.
Same to
Um,
you. I liked it too. I mean, it's a pleasure doing that. I do interviews every day now, and the last ones have all been Australia.
there you go. That's because we're the best.
Of course.
Of course. Well, hopefully to see you over here soon, and I hope the album does gangbusters for you because it's brilliant.
I'm sure it's going to do well, because the feedback is just all positive. It's like we've made a listening session old school way in
Yeah.
Amsterdam, in the Whistle Lord Studios. We had like people showing up, and we played it to them like the old way, like it
Yeah.
used to be
Yes.
in the 80s, and everybody loved it. People were really excited about it, and they're not faking it.
No.
If you talk to someone, you know how they are. I mean, they
Yeah.
tell you how they feel, and
Yes.
it was a great response.
Oh, brilliant, man. Brilliant. Thank you. I hope to get to see you live again very soon. It's been a long time, but hopefully
Yeah, I'd
sometime
love to. I
soon.
mean, I've never been to Australia ever.
No, you got to make it here. You got to
Yeah.
make it here.
All
All
right,
right.
man.
Hey, bye for now.
You have a good rest of the day.
You too. Bye,
All
mate.
right, see ya.
See ya.
Well, that was an absolute cracker of an interview. I'm sure you'll agree. Now we move on to the other part of the entertainment, part three of this German power metal connection. Carsten Kettering, who I've talked to before, as I said, for Metal Roos, and I will put these interview up one day soon. Former bass player from Ross the Boss. His band Satin White. This is their second album. Came out on the 29th of May, 2025. Born. This is one of the singles off the album called Well Born. Absolute crack of a track. There's lots of really interesting concepts in this album. I highly recommend you go and seeking it out. Carson did lots of parts on this as a two-man band, and Carson did a lot of work on this himself. And you'll hear a true professional really making the best of what he has at hand. This is a great album. As I said, it came out 29th of May. It's the second album. This is Born from the band Satin White, and the track itself is Well Born. Enjoy this track, and then on to Andi Deris, the second vocalist from Helloween, the legendary Helloween, who I talked to in the space of literally a couple of maybe a week and a bit. It was fantastic. The dreams do come true, you see, guys. Anyway, put your stereo on 11, put your phone up to the maximum, to your headphones up to the maximum, because as we all know, they go to 11 to listen to Well Born from the new album by Satin White. Born, only out a few months ago. And then we have a fantastic interview, as I said, with Andi Deris, the second vocalist I spoke to from Helloween. So enjoy this track and then enjoy Andi. Talk to you next week, guys. Bye for now.
Donations and cash, we're submitted.
Thanks for coming and chatting with us, Andy. It's
Hey,
great to have you on the show.
my pleasure.
Yeah, I chatted with Michael last week. It's
Mhm.
a great new album that's about to drop on us.
So sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
Right.
album.
Sounds good in both ways. What
Yeah.
you say and what it sounds like.
Exactly. Were you excited to get this one out and moving?
Yeah, well, I think August it'll be
Mm.
in the world. So the baby is actually taking its first breath, so to say, which is always very exciting. So
Yeah.
let's wait and see what's going to happen today, this time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm quite confident because I really love the album too. So I listen through it like four or five times a day because I'm preparing now for the tour. And yeah, I do love it, definitely. Something is cool here. Something we did right.
Yeah. I think this is one of the best albums you've done for a little while. Like I really,
Right.
it's almost like old school but new.
Old school but new. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably the perfect description because I remember everybody in the band was just giving a shit about style or something like that when it came to songwriting. And suddenly you end up with 23 great songs on the table. So we had like demos of 23 songs and we were helpless. We couldn't actually decide what to choose for the album. You possibly cannot go out with 23 songs unless you go with a double album. But I think that would be wrong. A double album nowadays dangerous.
It can be. It can be. I think it's a risky one. I mean, although a
Too
band with
risky.
your size and heritage, I'm sure that a double would be not a problem.
Yeah, maybe the double album would be something in like 15 years for the last album to do for like legacy,
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
hurrah! That's it. The last hurrah. Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. You got enough to listen for the next year, so fuck off.
Yeah.
We're out here.
You're
We're out
done.
of here.
We're done. Yeah. We're going to go and sit on a beach. But I mean, I really love the mix of tracks on it. I mean, I was saying to Michael that even the artwork is something different for you guys.
Different
Coming
and
in.
not different. Different and not different. So again, it's like that a bit of controversial thing where you go like, as you just said, it's new, old, new, something
Mm,
like that.
mm.
And I feel like it's a follow-up of the last album cover, so to say, but with a new subject, like giants and monsters. That's why you see us, or the pumpkin guy is reflecting actually us, like being the giants.
Mm.
If you only fight for it. But I love this little twist from the artist when we asked him, and why is he holding his own head in his hand like the pumpkin? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like yeah, when you go out fighting, don't lose your head.
Oh, I love it. Yes, see?
I said, okay,
Brilliant.
okay, cool.
That should be on the note somewhere on the back of the cover in some of those
Yeah,
record
well,
notes.
I'm probably and through the following weeks and months, I'm probably repeating myself 100 times anyway. So probably the majority of the people know about it then, you know. So don't you worry.
Brilliant. I mean, I really listening through to the album, it has a real rawness, which I love. I've always loved about your music. You've got this sort of it's beautifully produced, but there's a sort of raw majesty to Helloween, right? And some of the tracks are like this is
Depending on the songs, yeah.
like
Depending
this
on the
is
song,
Tokyo is just brilliant.
the most controversial song, which we picked because of that.
Yeah, interesting how it's controversial. I mean, I just think it's a
Contro-
great
no,
single.
I'm meaning controversial in the
Mm.
sense of that the majority of people would actually expect something like speed metal or something like for the first single, you know.
Oh, yes, fair enough.
Yes. But we decided not to because we wanted to have this discussion thing going on, which worked out fine, super, because there was like 50-50, exactly what we expected. They said rather have lots of people talking about it, and maybe you have a chance to bring people who are actually into rock and metal, but so far stay away because it's called speed metal.
Oh,
So
yes.
if you're called Helloween with a legacy, everybody thinks, oh, speed metal, I'm not gonna listen to that shit, you know. That's too much information per second. I'm getting a heart attack. Okay, you know. So
Yeah.
coming out with the first hello and presenting a song like this is Tokyo. A lot of people, because of that discussion, will listen to it. Okay, what the hell are they talking about? And then you have a good chance that people like that song, even though they are not speed metal fan, because
Mm.
simply it's not a speed metal song.
No.
It's just, but yeah, sure. When you go through the album, you got enough of speed metal on it, certainly.
Mm.
But I thought it's a nice twist actually to come out with a song like that. And then the people were completely satisfied 2 weeks later. We presented Universe, and there's some speed metal going on. Even though it's a beautiful song, it's rocking.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought This Is Tokyo's got a swagger to it. Like I thought I had that real Scorpions feel when I listened to This Is Tokyo, right? It takes you
yeah, it's a bit of
takes you straight
Scorpions.
back.
Probably that's where I come from, because I grew up actually with the Sweet, with Kiss, Scorpions, Iron Maiden, as a boy of 13, 14.
Mm.
And yes, certainly you always have your roots in your rucksack, so to say, when it comes to songwriting. And you unconsciously, that's your roots. So it may have a touch of that. Some people who know my former band, Pink Cream 69, they go like, oh, that's a Pink Cream song, metalized. And I said, yeah, with every respect, you can say that because it's written by me. So
Yeah.
it's what I am. And I'm just happy that there are lots of people out there who love my songs. But you can't be everyone's darling anyway. So
No.
I would rather say it's a typical Andy song. When you let me write songs without any boundaries, that's something that I could write. And sometimes I write a song like Giants on the Run, for example.
Mm.
It's what it is. When you sit down as a hobbyist, start to diddle and fiddle around with your guitar. That's what we actually how we started out back in the days. And what did you do? I mean, you diddled and fiddled until you had something going where you go like, oh, wait a minute, what's that? What did I just play? Back in the days, it was really stressful for me because I had no recorder.
Oh.
I did not even have a tape recorder back in the days, so
Mm.
I had to remind it. I had to always, like, next day. I was the first thing I did when I woke up. I took my guitar to find out if I if I still recognize what I played yesterday.
Oh, good luck. I couldn't do it. I
Yeah,
couldn't do that.
hey, sometimes there were bad days when I didn't remember. I was like pissed off.
Yeah, I bet you were. Yeah.
But then my dad saw how I was struggling to remember all these little ideas, because it's getting harder and harder with the weeks and months to come. You have more and more little fragments and ideas that you love so much.
Mm.
And it might quite be that out of these fragments and little ideas become whole songs later on, as we know.
Mm.
That's how you start. You start with an atom and you build it up, and at the end of the day, you got the figurine, you
Yeah.
know? So, and for me, it was torture, and my dad realized that. Like,
Oh.
after a few months, suddenly I had this little. I mean, I'm coming not out of a rich family, so I know that this little tape recorder cost a shitload of money for my father. It was a lot of
Oh,
money,
isn't it lovely? That's such
you
a
know.
lovely thing, man.
But he didn't care. He thought my son needs something, and so he bought one of these first tape recorders where you could record, and with a little microphone on it, like a small piece.
Yeah.
And I still love him for that, because that's when actually my recording career started.
There you go. There you go. And
Yeah.
isn't that wonderful? Small acorns, big trees, right?
Yeah.
And I come from the same thing. I come from a poor background, and Mum bought my very first guitar for me, and she had no money whatsoever, like
Mm.
nothing, and bought it from a catalog. This terrible Fender copy knockoff thing that couldn't stay in tune. But you know what? I loved it and played
Yeah.
it till my fingers bled. Right?
Yeah. And you felt like your idols, so to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
You
I
had a
absolutely
collection of
did.
stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, the story is, I had a little accordion, and I also know that this was worth a fortune for my parents to buy me an accordion, because they wanted me to play in some music club where
Mm,
I had a chance to musically, yeah, being educated in the musical way, because in the
mm.
school was nothing going on.
No.
I mean, like,
Mm.
So I remember myself at that back in the days they called it Spielring, which means play ring, or
Mm.
and that's where the village met and played. And I had a little accordion, and I was called a super talent back in the days. I remember. I did not know what happened to me, but suddenly I was a guy with 11 years. I was on stage with the big guys because I was that little accordion miracle.
Oh, wonderful.
And back in the days, I did not know what to do or what's cool or what not. I just loved playing music. Even on the accordion, I felt confident and satisfied at the age of 11 and 12. Then the trouble started when my mom entered my room and saw a magazine of in Germany. There's still a very popular music magazine for the kids. It's called Bravo.
Right.
And she saw that Bravo on my desk, and the cover was Kiss.
Oh,
My mom just looked at it. Oh, the devils, and walked out of my room.
yes.
And I thought, what? Who are the devils? These guys are the devils. I thought, what the fuck is this? Kiss. If these are the devils, I have to take a listen to them.
Yeah. It's funny, Kiss, isn't it? They look like the devils, but they sing "Love You All Night Long, Baby." Like
Yeah,
they have a contradiction to themselves, which
absolutely. It's a very, very positive band, actually.
is very
So,
positive. Yeah.
yeah, and that's how I added Kiss to my first influencers. And I thought, okay, I quite don't understand why the sound is the way it is, but I do know that's in the middle, that's the drum. That's the drums. And then I realized, okay, there's guitars left and right. Oh, that's how they play guitars. They sound strange. Why do they sound like this? Oh, because there's an amplifier. It's electric guitar. I had to understand the sound and
Ah,
back,
yeah.
back in the days at the age of 13, you educated yourself. And I fell in love with the guitars. And I thought, okay, this is something I cannot do with the accordion. So I went secretly, you have to imagine a boy of 13, and the accordion probably more heavy than I was. So secretly went into the city. For me, it was a big journey out of the little village next to the River Rhine into the
Yeah.
big city. So it took me like half an hour with the bus. I secretly went then to a shop where I remembered walking through these streets in Karlsruhe. That's the name of the city, and I remembered more or less where that music store was.
Oh.
So I secretly swapped my accordion with an electric guitar.
Oh.
When I came back home, my mom was, yeah, I mean, you can imagine. She was
But
like,
look where you end up now, Andy, right? That's the thing.
yeah. But again, thanks to my dad, because my dad just leaned at the door and had a big smile on his face.
Oh, wonderful. I never had an amp. I played that electric guitar with no amp for like at least 3 years.
That's how I started out. But thanks to that little tape recorder my dad gave me,
Yeah.
there was a little input jack. And
Oh.
it certainly sounded horrible, but you could distort your guitar and listen to it over the inbuilt little speaker in
How
this
good
tape
is
recorder.
that?
It
Oh,
sounded nasty, but
yeah.
it was distorted, and I could replicate what my idols do here.
Yeah. Nothing
So
wrong with nasty. Nothing wrong with nasty now and again. It works.
yeah, sure. Well, today we would call it lo-fi.
Lo-fi now, yeah, which is really irritating because it's just what all of us normal people can do. Like,
But that's how it all started.
yeah, wonderful. And look where you come. I mean, what is it? I was doing 19 albums. Like, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, but
As a
there's still
band,
some best offs and acoustic
still a
covers.
lot. I mean, it's still a lot.
Still a
In
lot,
that
yeah,
mix,
still a lot.
I mean, you think about it. I mean, I remember buying Keeper of the Seven Keys, part one, as a teenager.
Yeah.
Purely because of the cover. I have to be honest with you. When you had little money, you buy whatever the cover looked. You go into a local shop, you had only a couple of pounds, couple of whatever, Deutschmarks, whatever you had, and you go, shit, that looks good.
Yeah.
And, it was one of the only times that I've actually got home and put it on and loved it. Some of the times you buy it and that was crap. Like, cover was better than the music.
Like, oh, fuck. Yeah,
oh, fuck, I waste all that money. I don't have any money. But I put that on and it was like,
cool. But most of the times, the records which were crap, I was able to change and swap into different ones that I liked. So, and in our school there was a big black market going on. Like, you know.
Yeah. Ours was tapes.
Swap this for that.
Yeah. Ours was all tapes. We would sort of in the playground swapping
And
tapes.
tapes, certainly,
Yeah.
yeah.
What have you
But
got?
hey, certainly,
Tapes.
I mean, back in the days, you wonder why, but I do remember the majority of my friends, I would say 99% of my school, there was not very much money in the families, you know. So if
Yeah.
you decided to buy a record, it was, yeah, it was a small fortune for me as a kid, definitely. And if it was crap, it weighed on my shoulders. I mean, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And fortunately, there were like dozens and dozens kids every day in the schoolyard trying to swap and change, and so you had that little market going on, and perfect. So yeah, that's why I actually swapped my first. It was a Barclay James Harvest vinyl,
Yeah.
and I didn't like it that much. It was too soft, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It was girls' music back in the day.
Yeah.
So, and one of those guys was trading a AC/DC album. So
Ah.
I swapped AC/DC to with Barclay James Harvest, and I was happy.
I'm
I
yeah.
think I think this guy was happy too.
I saw a very similar thing. We had a sort of illegal tape market going on. So we had friends that had lots of money. So they would buy the records. Then we would
Mhm.
give them the tapes. Because
Mm.
tapes were cheap. You could buy cheap tapes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah.
give these crappy tapes and they'd go and record them for you and charge you a couple of quid,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
was still cheaper than the record.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, that's why we still make golden records in Indonesia, but
Yeah.
actually it's golden cassettes.
Yeah.
It's golden tapes.
Yeah. They're
They
so big
still
there. Yeah. Yeah.
2025, the biggest market in Indonesia is still tapes.
Isn't that wonderful? I love it.
Yeah, it's
I love my tape deck. I could be so
yeah,
lost
me
without
too.
it. Um,
I still use it from time to time, but only to see if it still works.
I
Because
do the same. I do love it though. It sits on my deck, and it's like I
yeah,
would be lost without my Marantz. I'm like, I really like my tape deck.
and I still have my first demos that I still nowadays love to listen to, and the first demos I recorded from tape recorder to tape recorder, and during recording I played the next thing, and back
Oh,
vice versa. And because I happen to have two okay good tape decks, the noise floor is still bearable.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
after recording 5 or 6 times back and forth, it still sounds good.
yeah, yeah,
So that's how I actually started to track.
yeah. That's right. Well, you bounced them, didn't you? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I have to say that that's the sort of thing you want to hear from your people like yourself who we've admired for so many years in industry, is
hey,
that you come from, like
yeah,
you have honest roots.
yeah. Back in the days, we had put it that way. We are fortunate to have learned both worlds. So we had to learn the analog world because the digital world still doesn't exist.
Mm,
And then we grew into the digital world knowing what we like and don't like because the analog world has better options, better alternatives to the digital world, which is great. At a certain age, you are exactly growing up with everything and have that
mm,
knowledge. So being born today, you would probably not even think about for a second to touch analog gear. I mean, even look, I mean, in the background, I see all
mm,
your great stuff like the Uris and the LA2As and
mm,
stuff like that, all the Focusrites to the right,
mm.
and so on, and so forth. As a young kid, you would never touch that. It's way out of your league, money wise, you
Oh
know.
God, yes, yes.
Unfortunately,
Mm, yeah, but saying that though, I mean that's why band albums like this and your albums in the past mean a lot to people like me who listen. I really do deeply listen. I don't just put it on in the background. I will go and put the lights out, sit there, and really take in all the nuances of the album. And what I love about that is that you do have that. You still have the analog core. It feels
yeah,
warm
simply
still.
because it's there.
Mm,
It's always a mixture. When we record an album, it's not. We did not produce it the way we did the last album was completely analog. And certainly from a certain point on, you had to transport it into Pro Tools
mm,
at the very, very, very last second. So it's still got that digital type, but I think that digital vibe doesn't destroy the analog vibe. If the majority is played and recorded analog, you hear it, you feel it, it's there. It's got that three-dimensional thing, it's got more depth and everything.
Mm.
This time we also had the big tape recorders running, mainly for the drums.
Mm.
But after drum recording, we did not especially take a tape recorder to record the rest of the album. Sometimes we did. I mean, there are certain effect guitars where we went through tape again simply because of the distortion we liked much more with like the saturation from the tape.
Mm.
But this is something, I think that's something for our heart, because this is something you don't actually pick out with your ears. It's something like, it's just for us.
Yeah.
But overall, I think for me, the most important thing for me would be record drums analog, bass would be great analog, and the lead vocals would be great analog, and all the rest around it could be digital, in my humble opinion.
Is that because I'm a self-confessed bad bass player? Is it because with the drums and bass and vocals are more human-esque instruments, if you know what I mean? I'm not saying guitar isn't human, but it's got warmer tones. Do you think that's the reason that you want to do analog?
For me, the analog reason is the 3D. I always describe it when you A/B it. I most of the times can tell you it's analog or digital. Not every time. Really depends on. Probably it depends on how hard you track. So if you really track hard, so you really push the tape, I'm definitely I can tell you 200% if it's analog or digital. So if I take like the old producers or people like Charlie, our producer who grew up with analog as well, he pushes the tape hard, and it gives you that suddenly that
Dimension. Yeah.
dimension, and it's there. It's done. It's produced by the tape because of irregularities that you would not have in the digital world. Now there are like copycats in the digital world of a tape recorder, for example. Problem what we have still today, probably it'll change when the quantum computers come. But nowadays you still have that one or two samples which are always triggered.
Yes.
That counts for sound as well. So the irregularities you have, the infinite irregular, it's like never-ending story, and no conversion in that milliseconds or nanosecond is the same as the next or the previous. So that's what happens with tape.
Yeah.
It's always different, always. Every nanosecond it's different. Whereas the digital, they only copy, let's say, a sample or two, and probably these samples are completely repetitive.
Yes.
So it's always the same sample, so to say. It gives you the feeling from the sound from analog, but it can never get to the dimension because it's always the same trigger.
It's not. There's not the nuance that can be the change of thickness of tape, like you said, the depth of it. It's a great. Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I'm an age where we've lived in both, haven't we? You and I, digital and analog worlds, and I understand the beauty of both. I really do.
Yeah.
I get them. I understand them. But there are times
I would love to have them. Problem is it's way too cost effective. So it's like it's too costly.
Yeah, and that's another thing, isn't it? What a shame.
Yeah, and the main reason next to that one is I'm living on an island, and I remember back in the days when our producers always had problems with the big 24s. Something was always being out of bias or whatever. They had to be recalculated or recalibrated.
Yeah, calibrated. Yeah.
And I would be lost over here. I have no technician, and honestly, calling Akim in Hamburg or the boys who still know how to actually maintain a machine like that, that would be. I would have to be multi-millionaire at the end of the day.
That's right.
It's too much. So that's why I also love my Pro Tools.
Oh no, it's good for one. And honestly, like
I said, listen to this album, like Into the Sun, which I absolutely bloody loved, by the way.
Thank you.
Um, I thought that was a single. I don't know why, but I listened to that. I thought that's a single when I listened to it.
Could be a nice pick for like autumn, winter,
Yeah.
Christmas, whatever.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. I really enjoyed that one a lot. I mean, the whole album itself starts and ends well, Giants of the Run ending with Majestic. I mean, it's a great rolling album. It doesn't hang around,
Yeah,
which is a
thank
good
God.
sign. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
like
I
you,
I do know what you mean because it took quite of a investigation period because I wanted to find out why the people still love to listen through the whole albums, Keeper 1, Keeper 2.
Yes.
And I realized the flow is so beautiful and it doesn't stress you.
No.
And I think the secret was you had these metal anthems like Eagle Fly Free or something like that, which was like very, concentration. You need concentration. There's lots of beats per minutes going on, or beats per seconds actually. So after a demanding song like that, suddenly there's like a song like I Want Out or Future World or Dr. Steen
Oh, I
mixed in the
love that. Yeah.
Yes, but they are even more important because it's easy listening and it gives you the energy to ready yourself for the next
That's
street
right.
metal.
You need the
Waves.
dip and drop and the waves. If
Yeah.
it's constant,
And
there are albums out there so constant that you just don't be bothered turning it off, I have to say.
yeah,
So
me personally, as
yeah.
we all know, I'm a metalhead. I love
Yeah.
metal. But give me a break.
Yeah.
After 15 minutes or 20 minutes,
Yeah.
crashing my skull, so to say, which I enjoy.
Oh, I love it.
But
Yes.
I love it, yeah. But after that, I need a break.
You do.
So give me a Future World or a Dr. Steen, or If I Could Fly, or even a Forever and One or something like that. Let me calm down, enjoy that piece of music, re-energize, and give me the shit again.
Let me get my heart come down a bit. That's exactly right. Yeah. And that's what I think the mix on this album has that, man. That has that mix.
That's what we try to achieve, and that's why we picked the songs on this particular album and not the other 12 songs who are still in the pipeline, which we would have loved to record, believe me, because there's so many great songs. Yeah, but on the other hand, to look at it from a positive point of view, if you send us into the studio tomorrow, the album would be finished. So
there you go. So you got one up your sleeve, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
So I think what we talk about here is a luxury problem.
It is, yes, that's right. Yes, it's a first world problem, right? Yeah. Well, look, thanks for chatting, Andy. It's been a real pleasure, man.
Hey, likewise.
Really one of my heroes. So thank you. This is
and thank you for letting me see your studio. It pretty much looks my own studio.
Well, you're welcome. It's
even the colors. Even the colors are pretty much the same. It's
there
lovely.
You go. And as I said, the album is a stunner, and
Thank you.
I think the audiences are gonna eat up because 29th of August it comes out. So lots
and
of
I still haven't got any copy.
No.
That's the curse living on an island. You're always the last.
Yeah, it'll turn up and be dropped off by a bird.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. Probably I have to go to the rehearsals back to Germany, and then I receive it.
That's it. They'll give it to you. That's probably right.
Because it's always embarrassing because I talk to so many people, like having these interviews, and they all show me the record, and I was like, perfect, look at this and look at that. Do you know that you? No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't got a copy. I was talking. I once talked to Tony Martin about that, and he goes, "I don't have a copy of Headless Cross." I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. The record company doesn't give a shit if the band's got it because they think, you bloody guys, you got the main master in your studio, so listen to that one. I said, but I want to see the artwork. I want to see the whole shit.
I also want to put it in my collection because it's part of my history, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Well, anyway, enjoy your island life and the tour to come. And and hopefully get to Australia soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you down under then, I think. next year that should happen. It's on the TBA.
There we
list.
go. I won't miss a second of it.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
El rugido de los aficionados, el ritmo de las porras, la intensidad en la cancha. Esto es más que solo un partido de fútbol. Con DraftKings Sportsbook, esta es tu oportunidad de convertir cada jugada en una gran ganancia. Descarga la app de DraftKings Sportsbook y usa el código HEART. Ese es el código HEART para que los nuevos usuarios reciban $200 en bonus bets al instante cuando apuestes solo $5. En asociación con DraftKings, la corona es tuya. ¿Problemas con el juego? Llama al 1-800-GAMBLER. En Nueva York, llama al 877-8-HOPE-NY o envía un mensaje de texto con la palabra HOPE-NY al 467-369. En Connecticut, hay ayuda disponible para problemas con el juego. Llama al 888-789-7777 o visita ccpg.org. Juega responsablemente. En nombre de Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Debe ser mayor de 21 años. La elegibilidad varía según la jurisdicción. No válido en Ontario. Pueden aplicarse cargos en Illinois. Las apuestas de bonos son de un solo uso. La apuesta no se incluye en las ganancias y caducan después de ser otorgadas. La oferta finaliza el 29 de septiembre 2025 a las 11:59 p.m. hora del este. Los términos en DraftKings.com/sportsbook/promos.